আস্তে 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 আস্তে
It's all for Chuni Goswami, Mr. Gurbakh Singh, Joydeep Mukherjee, and all the leaders. হ্যাঁ এক্ষুনি ফোন করেছে শারমিন এক্ষুনি ফোন করেছে আসছে শি ইজ কামিং এট 5
আরে বিডি আরে বাবা
বৌদি ভালো আছেন এদিকে বৌদি
লোকজন তো বক্তারাই তো আসেনি
সবাই এসে গেছে এক সেকেন্ড
I hope you can hear me. Yeah, it's a very nice, pleasant winter, and hope please relax and enjoy this. It's a wonderful evening today, and good evening everyone. I'm Aparna, just Aparna Goswami. I'm very privileged in facing such an august gathering of leaders. And when I got this opportunity, I was looking through the title of the book, which says Captain's 60 years. And this word, when I look at captains, some thoughts popped in my mind and I would like to share those. Captains means they are always in command. And how does that happen? I think when your will and your skill march together, that help you to climb the highest hill. And that the captains do every day and night. So now, I may call upon, I may invite on stage Mr. Mihir Kumar Mitra, Secretary BTA, to kindly offer a welcome address and a thanksgiving. Mihir Kumar Mitra, please a round of applause for him.
Thank you, Aparna. Good evening, my dear friends, and a very warm welcome to BTA Complex on behalf of Bengal Tennis Association and Mr. Rajat Shubhro Chatterjee, the author of the book which is going to be released today. Unfortunately, my president, Mr. Hiranmoy Chatterjee, who is also the Secretary General of All India Tennis Association, could not make it today, as he had to go to Delhi on some urgent Davis Cup related issues. However, we have a very interesting evening awaiting us, culminating with the Captain's Adda, which I understand will be an interactive process where we, the members of audience, will also be able to participate along with the captains of various sports disciplines. I hope you will enjoy your evening, and I profusely thank you for being with us this lovely evening. Thank you very much.
Hero of the evening, the author, please come here and take over the microphone, Mr. Rajat Shubhro Chatterjee.
Thank you, Mehta, for sweet words about me. But I must be thankful to you and BTA for offering this excellent venue. A sports book is ideally to be released on a sports arena, which is happening because of you. Thank you very much. Please extend my gratitude to Hiranmoy Chatterjee. I met him day before yesterday, but he couldn't make it today. And all the staff of BTA. In front of me, ocean of leaders sitting in front of me. Before we proceed further, may I request one by one to come on the stage and take their chairs. Mr. Chuni Goswami, please, Dada, he will help you. He will help you. He will help you. Mr. Sombaran Banerjee, Mr. Joydeep Mukherjee, Mr. Gurbakh Singh, Mr. Shumon Chattopadhyay, Mr. Raghav Chatterjee, Chunida, you can't make it. Sure, he will help you. Well, leaders sitting on the dais, they really don't need any introduction. But for the formality's sake, let me start right from the left. Sri Raghav Chatterjee, a singer of immense talent, immense popularity, and loved by all of us.
Thank you very much for giving me the fantastic opportunity to say something, but I am not a good orator, good narrator for this evening. I am not a sports guy, but I definitely, along with the sports personality, like my father, my uncle is there. So it's indeed an honor to me, and আমি খুব সম্মানিত বোধ করছি যে এরকম একটি অনুষ্ঠান, and the important is that the book has been written by this a gentleman and published by my elder brother, and that's a good thing. The two different arena together is working something excellent job. So let me read the book fantastically. I hope it will be a fantastic book, and it will be great hit to the all sports lovers and all readers. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next seated to Raghav Chatterjee, Shumon Chattopadhyay, again a man of immense leadership, experience and quality for last 40 years, almost 38 years. He has been editors of largest circulated dailies in Kolkata, still now. And his first-hand experience with the prime ministers and presidents of the country and chief ministers of the states have been enormous. In fact, he has been a permanent fixture of the presidential and prime ministerial entourage all over the world. Even with Jyoti Babu and Mamata Banerjee, he has been everywhere. So his experience of leadership, he has seen the leaders right from almost from eyeball to eyeball situation. So he is the only speaker this evening. That will come later. Next is Mr. Gurbakh Singh, an Olympian, 1964 Tokyo Olympic gold medal winning player, and 1968 at Mexico, he was the joint captain of the Indian hockey team, which won the bronze medal. Next is Mr. Joydeep Mukherjee, 1960 junior Wimbledon runners. Thereafter, he, along with Prendit Lal and Ramanathan Krishnan, created history for Indian tennis. Even today, he is so active in with his own academy that he is a man of substance, he is a man of immense popularity and a great leader. He has been India's Davis Cup captain for years. So his leadership as a captain of a Davis Cup team is enormous. Last but not the least, on my immediate left is Sambharan Banerjee. Now, to cut the long story short, he is the last in Bengal, the Ranji Trophy winning captain, sitting here in 1989, and under his captaincy, Sourav Ganguly debuted in first-class cricket. He is a man, I'm not going to quote, but was hugely instrumental in having Sourav Ganguly in the Indian team. That time he was the Indian selector. So with this, I would request Chunija, if you can come here, stand here. Now the book is going to be released. That's why I have requested Chunija to be here.
আপনি পিছনে চলে আসেন, পিছনে চলে আসেন। ঠিক আছে, ঠিক। ক্যামেরা তুলে নিয়ে আয়, কোন না?
Distinguished captains on the desk, Raghav, ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me? At the outset, I would like to express my thanks and deep sense of gratitude to Rajat Shubhro Chatterjee, I fondly call him Rajatda, for inviting me here this evening to be with you all. Personally, for me, it is indeed a matter of proud privilege, distinct honor, and joy and happiness. I know Rajat Shubhro Chatterjee from the days when I was in my early teens and he was in his early 20s. So if you subtract, and today he is a young man of just 70. So if you subtract 23 from 70, you would get to the bottom of the figure which I am trying to indicate. I know this young man for close to half a century now, almost 47 years. Not only him, all members of his family, his brothers, used to know his parents, and also his beautiful wife, Shopna, who broke quite a few hearts in our neighborhood when she chose to tie the knots with Rajatda. So 40 years hence, I am 61 today, and I cannot claim that I have a robust health. But at 70, Rajodda continues to be young. And what is the mystery? I think the mystery has been his unwavering passion for sports and sporting activities, which he has been following till date, right here. When he came to my office to invite me for this occasion, I asked him the secret. He said, just twice a week I play tennis. So for a person of his age to continue with sporting activity, and since I know him from my childhood almost, I know his passion for cricket. Because in our school days, we had to suffer his lectures on who is doing what and how he should have played. He would often lecture us as to where Gavaskar has committed a mistake, how he should have played. Those were the days, you know, when our seniors would always take the liberty of lecturing, uninitiated young people like us. His brother was a very dear friend of mine. So you would listen to him and then say, okay, I have to give it to him because after all he is Rajodda. And then, what is it in him that must have prompted him to write this book? You see, he eats cricket, he sleeps cricket, he dreams cricket. For him, cricket has been almost a way of life. I don't know how many of you are aware that he used to play for East Bengal Club, not as a regular, but occasionally. And one day his mentor, Prakash, who was it? Prakash Poddar told him, Rajat, please don't expect to be a front runner in this game at this level. All right, you are in East Bengal Club. On occasions you will be asked to play, but not on a regular basis. But the job you have is far more important than your cricketing career. So pursue that. So I feel heartbroken. He opted for his job, but never left his dream. So I can say this much with some degree of authority and personal knowledge, that it is very difficult to find a better candidate who would be writing something on cricket. So that way, without being a journalist, without being a top-notch cricketer, he is uniquely qualified to do this job, which he has done. Better late than never. And I expect Rajodda to come out with similar enterprises in the future. Now, why is this book unique? He gave me a copy of this book a couple of days ago. I haven't had time to go through it properly, but whatever little I have been able to gather, he has seen cricket from the prism of a theme that is pretty unique, which is leadership. Cricket, as we all know, is a game where the captain plays a pivotal role, unlike in any other game. You won't be able to name the captain of the Indian football team. Or the best player doesn't have to be a captain in other sports. But in cricket, I think, as Chunida has written rightly in his preface, that the captain has a larger than life image and then larger than life role. Whether that is desirable or not, I do not know. Because my ex-boss, erstwhile editor of Anandabazar Patrika, Avik Sarkar, was of the opinion that the captain in cricket should not have any role at all. He should be, the manager should be he should be calling the shots. But then he is known for his all kinds of views with which commoners like us will not agree. And his views certainly haven't changed the world. Captains continue to be important as they were. Now, Rajodda has asked me to speak generally on the question of leadership. I will come to that later. But you know, this book is also going to provoke your mind, and you might argue with him as to whether the inclusion of the 11 and also a 12th man you support or not. For example, I don't support his choice of Sunil Gavaskar. I think he's one of the greatest cricketers to be born in this country. But in terms of captaincy, I do not think that he deserves to be in the list. But that's my personal take, and I am not prepared to take this debate any further, because any such inclusion has to be compulsively subjective, and we should be left to the choosers. So Rajodha has chosen Sunil Gavaskar, and of the 12, 4 are Indian captains. I do not know whether Rajodha also gets carried away by this narrative of patriotism that we hear every day ad nauseum, spread by the Saffron Brigade. Are you a patriot, Rajodha? I don't know, but it will definitely titillate you to get into argument. And the essence of democracy is that we should agree to disagree. So any book that excites you, provokes debate, is a book that would be successful. And to that extent, Rajodha, you have hit the nail on the head. And I can tell you that this book is going to be a very important contribution to the existing rich cricket literature that we have all over the world. Now, I have not played cricket, football, nothing of that sort, but these days I have lost all interest in cricket, frankly speaking, because I think the way it has been commercialized, the way cricket is being played and marketed, this is not something with which I can associate myself. Maybe I belong to the old generation, old era. What is T20 cricket, one-day cricket is something that I have not been able to digest so far. So I have stopped going to the venues, but time was when I used to. And I had the privilege of attending World Cup football, World Cup cricket. And I will only narrate to you my own experiences as a journalist as I went to see the World Cup in 1999 in England, when Azharuddin was the captain of the Indian team, and followed by the second World Cup, which was 2003, South Africa, when Sourav Ganguly was the captain of the Indian team. Now, for those of us who have seen cricket, we all know that after the match, the captain would come to the press corner to address the press. You see, when Azhar batted, it was a treat to watch. But when he spoke, he was such a big bore, because he could only mumble, not communicate. That is my impression. And there was a refrain that he would ad nauseam repeat in every press conference with regard to captaincy. He would say, the captain is as good as the team. But you know, nobody would ask him a counter question, why the hell are you there for? So all he meant to say was that if the team fails, please don't hold me accountable. I don't know from whom or where he received this borrowed wisdom. Could be Raj Singh Dungarpur told him that if press asks you this question, this is what you should answer. Now contrast this with what I saw in 2003 in South Africa. Saurav, as you know, that India was playing very well. At the group stage, it went up to semi-final, final, then lost very badly. And under Saurav, this same Indian team was almost looking like a bunch of US Navy SEALs. Completely transformed, completely united. It was a different spectacle. And what happened during the group stage, Shumon is here, you may recall, some issue cropped up between the ESPN, which was the official channel that was covering the World Cup, and the Indian team. And the team decided to boycott ESPN. That none in the team would be speaking to them. After 2-3 days, Javagal Srinath, I don't know whether he was aware of the code or not, he broke the code and spoke with Shantanu Gorai, the then reporter covering the sports on behalf of ESPN. I was sitting in Saurav's room when the news traveled to him that Srinath has broken the code. He picked up the phone, gave him a piece of his mind, without raising his voice, without uttering one single filthy word. And after 15-20 minutes, I saw Javagal Srinath running to the room to apologize profusely. Now, in my opinion, a good leader should be self-effacing to the extent possible. What we see in case of Indian politics is not the hallmark of good leadership, where the leader hogs the entire limelight as if nothing else matters in the world. Please don't get me wrong. A good leader will be prepared to take the brickbats and share the bouquets with the teammates. When the team fails, he will be the one to face the bullet. He will appear before the press and say, yes, I should be held accountable for this. And when the team wins, he should send his colleagues to face the press. It's a very rare tribute and even rarely seen. Second is, based upon my experience, I can tell you, a good leader is he who can extract the best from everyone. You see, no team consists of 11 Maradonas. In such a situation, you wouldn't need a leader. With 11 Maradonas on a football field or 11 such great cricketers, a good leader will find out who is good at what and expose him to that opportunity. That requires a large-heartedness. Your ability to share. Someone who suffers from a sense of insecurity will never do this. He will think, or she will think, that if I give him this opportunity, he will outshine me. But a good leader who is self-assured will not bother. He will love his teammates to come to the fore and prove their worth. And therefore, every good leader in whatever field must also be the best in the trade to the extent possible. Just as if I don't score runs in a cricket match or take wickets as a bowler, nobody is going to give me a damn. And similarly in politics, A leader who doesn't catch votes, isn't popular, cannot carry the masses, will not survive the test of time. So therefore, leaders are few. We have to reconcile ourselves to the fact that while there are many great players, good players in every field, there are very few leaders. And I'm very sorry to say that good leaders are becoming almost an endangered species in my country today. Where leaders tend to be megalomaniacs and the followers are being reduced to almost minions. Not a very healthy situation, but I am looking forward to the day when things will change and sanity will come back to our life and polity. With these words, let me conclude.
By Mr. Shumon Chattopadhyay. Now the book is officially released also. So let the Captain's Adda begin. And it will be coordinated by the author Rajat Shubhra Chatterjee.
Thank you, Aparna, once again. Shumon, wonderful. Yes, you have to go. Listen to me at least 1 minute. Your speech has been as penetrative as your pain has been for the last 40 years. Thank you very much. Now the Captain's Adda will take place. Before that, I would like to call upon stage my publisher, Mr. Bashop Chatterjee, and Shumon Chattopadhyay, a photojournalist. Please come. Please come over. Please come over. Come over. Come over. Come. Bashop Chatterjee, my publisher.
One thing I want to tell you, why this book I have published. Two persons are inspiring me to publish this book. One, my father, the sports personality. Second, my uncle, Devesh Chakravarti. He is in front of us, sitting. Devesh Kaka, please come on stage.
Before he takes over, let me introduce this tiny yet giant photojournalist, Shumon Chattopadhyay. For last 30 years plus, 37 years, he has been covering all Olympics, all World Cups, cricket and football, all these kind of games, and his collection of photos have been enormous. I personally thank him because he has contributed largest numbers of images in my book. Thank you, Shumon. Page. So we are going to have the Captain's Adda down below. So may we request all of you to please come here. A young man named Ronak Jana. Where is he? Ronak, come. Ronak has started his company, a sports tourism company, not even 2 years. And day before yesterday, his company has won the best sports tourism award in Agra. May we have a big hand for this young boy. Incidentally, today he will be my co-coordinator for the Captain's Adda, which should not last more than 15 minutes. Ronak, please take a seat and have the conference. You have a mic? You have a mic? Take a seat.
Thank you so much, sir.
You take this.
I don't even know how I'm sitting here beside these eminent personalities, and I really don't deserve to, but thank you, and I'm grateful to sir for having me here, Mr. Rajat Subbu Chatterjee. He's been a father figure to me, and all of my friends and my brothers from different mothers since we've grown up, and a very good evening to all of you, and thank you for having me and everyone here, and thank you for coming here, taking out time of your daily schedule, and I'm really grateful to be a part of this, and let's make this session fun. We will be having a few questions and interesting ones, which we may live once again from the action and the life of them, and thank you once again for having us.
Thank you, Ronak. Where from I should start? I do not know. Okay. By age. By age? Fine. Chunida. No, Guruda.
চুনিদা এন্ডেস কে বলুন চুনিদা এন্ডেস কে বলেন না চুনিদা আগে ঠিক করতে হবে আপনি এন্ডেসটা কে ঠিক করে দেবেন না এন্ডেস নয় তো
Okay. Chunida.
Am I the eldest? I don't know.
I do not know. Guruda is 2 years senior to you.
চুনিদা জোর করে করা হলো কিন্তু
Okay, my pleasure. And everybody's pleasure. Who is holding the mic? Those who have not seen him play. They have not seen something.
just forget about that.
Okay. He was the 1960 Rome Olympic footballer, and in 1962 he was the captain of gold medal winning Indian football team. Sunita, what was we heard that you had delivered a lecture the night before the final against South Korea.
Before I respond to your question, I must say this is a wonderful evening with the presence of great players like Jaideep Mukherjee, Soumya Banerjee, and my left Guru Bakshi, who has done so well in hockey in Mexico and other places. And but I straightway come to the leadership. Now, what I personally feel, I have been the captain of the Indian team for 6 years, winning the gold medal in the Asian Games and doing well in the Olympics during my captaincy. What I personally feel, leadership is a natural quality. You cannot really trust upon anyone for the leadership. And to be honest with you, it has been seen in many wonderful football teams, cricket teams, and other teams, where the best player was never made the captain because he has not the material of being the captain. Now, in a question you can ask me, what are the requirements for a player to become a good captain? Number one, I must say, a captain must be a very natural person who speaks eloquently and at the same time mixes it to everybody with the same amount of passion and love. Whether he is the best player or he is not the best player is immaterial. That is what I personally feel. As I said, I was the captain of the Indian football team winning the gold medal in Asian Games in 1962. I personally feel that it unnaturally talented players we have, but I personally did one thing, that I never really give importance to the best player. I always thought, it's my feeling, I don't know how you look upon other aspects of the leadership, but I personally feel that leader must be a good person, a normal person, at the same time very approachable person by one and everyone. And at the same time, leader must behave equally well with everybody with same kind of love and passion for a insignificant player who is serving the team. That should be the quality of a leader. It is a wonderful effort by
Chunida, I have got a second question to you. As a cricketer, he was no mean. he had his achievement during 1966 against Gary Sobers's West Indies team was such against against West Indies for Central and East Zone combined team. It is still wondered why he was not taken by in Indian team in 1967 England and 1968 Australia. Sunita is a person I feel you had used in one of the matches. You started the second innings with a spinner 40 years back. Can you tell us?
Dilip Doshi. I use Dilip Doshi. No, who was that I started with?
That time Central and East
Sunita, Sunita had started his second innings with a spinner, which is today very common in one-day cricket. Ronak, any question for Sunita?
Yes, Sunita, I have a question for you. You were previously playing football and then you left and you started your cricketing journey. How do you tell us that story?
You don't know the story because I started cricket as a young man and football came much later on. Luckily, I was a bit talented in football and cricket was reasonably good for me. But I always enjoyed cricket because of the reason that it warrants you to have many qualities to become the cricketer and at the same time leader of the cricket team. After all, in the football game you go on captain just one toss and his performance is over as a captain. But a cricketer, a captain, cricket captain has to be very alert. He must be always looking everything aspects of the game, and at the same time he must always really reason with the players to how to really combat the situation as it warrants. With this I must say, the leadership is a natural one, as I already said a couple of times ago, and it is really, a leader is a born one, not made one. It has been seen in many teams that an ordinary player who hardly comes into the game, but is a wonderful captain. And that's why leadership has got some qualities, which is most important one, is a normal person, is a natural person, he is a mixable person, approachable person, and he is listening to one and everyone.
Excellent. Excellent words from a huge leader. May I come to Guruda? 1968 Mexico Olympics, joint captain. I have one question, Guruda. During that period, 67-68, India had a wonderful inside forward, Inam Rahman. And Inam was taken in the team in 68, but he was not played in any single match in the group league. He was played the bronze medal winning third and fourth place match. Can you share the reasons of?
I think you are misinformed. But I captained from 1965 to 68. 67 pre-Olympic London. And first I'll answer that question later on. I endorse what Sunita has said. At the same time, I think it's very important for a captain to know each player individually and the psychology of the player. I found, at least in hockey, I do not know about other games, I don't know about cricket. No, cricket is a little more gentleman's game. But I think in hockey, I found, during my time, as you mentioned, in Amur Rahman, there was Joginder, there was Balbir Railway, there were so many different players. And at that time, before the match, you had to know, before the tour started, you had to know the psychology of each person. And I think all of my friends sitting here on my side, they will understand, at least in football and hockey, they will understand that, see, there are certain players whom you have to be harsh to get the best out of them. And so at the same level, if you treat the other player, he will probably go down, he'll play half what he's playing. So it is, you have to understand as a captain how to get the best out of each player, each individual. That's the most important thing. And also, I tell you, in 64 Olympics, which we won in Tokyo, Joginder used to eat like hell, and he was getting fatter and fatter. Before that, we went to New Zealand tour, and at that time, the captain, the manager, they all made sure that twice the plate was taken off the table in the dining room or dining hall, that he should not be eating. And we found, at least I found that by abusing Joginder, थोड़ा सा गाली करके भी, ये क्या कर रहा है तुम, कैसा है, थोड़ा गाली देके, and he will play the double. At the same time, if there was other player, if you abused him, he will whatever he was playing, he will play half. So psychology to learn and to know each player individually is most important, on and off the field. Now, your question about Inamur Rahman. I think, I tell you, the whole story, that was one of the greatest teams. 680 was very good. And we were supposed to win that tournament. Now, there was, unfortunately, I have written my book. I have not mentioned individually, but unfortunately, we went from here to East Africa tour. And over there, the players were staying, two players in each Indian's house. There was no hotel arrangement. And what was happening, there were some players who wanted a little more drinks. I'm not saying that drinks are not good. I'm a teetotaler all my life. But that doesn't qualify that I was a good player because I didn't drink. But at the same time, you have to sacrifice something before you're going to a tournament. And over there, that was the trouble. And there were few players. Again, one of them was Gurbakhsh, my namesake, who was from Railways. He was inside right. Inamur Rahman was inside left. Inamur Rahman. He was from my club, from Calcutta, from Mohun Bagan. I was from Mohun Bagan. So both two of Mohun Bagan players represented India in '68. And at that time, they both got disinterested. They thought that they will not be played. And who was our regular player, who was playing for India, was Inder Singh, inside left. Unfortunately, when we went to Italy, after your East Africa tour, we went to Italy. Over there, we found that Inder Singh has got jaundice. So he was left behind in Italy, and we moved over to Mexico. We had about 10 days there. Inamur Rahman was played, and he was the regular inside left. He played the Japan match. In which Japan was rusticated. They were thrown out of the tournament because they refused. Inamur Rahman was taking the ball, and his hockey stick was hooked. In fact, it was the other way around. I tell you, I can confess it. Because Inam had a habit, he was a great player, one of the greatest players. But he had a habit of stopping the stick. And he stopped the stick of the Japanese. The umpire thought that his stick had been hooked. And he gave a penalty stroke. And the Japanese refused to take the penalty stroke. The whole team walked out of the field. And the whole team was suspended for 2 years. And we got, out of that match, we got 3 points and 5 goals. After that, again Inam played. By that time, by those 15 days, the regular inside left who was supposed to play, Inder Singh came. So this is what the actual picture is.
Excellent propositions offered by...
But about the captaincy, I tell you, it's very, very important that what I'll endorse whatever Churida said. All captains will say the same thing. I think it is should not be thrust on somebody. And even in hockey and football, cricket, of course, you dominate. Who to ball, when to change, when to, the field placing, everything is in captain's hand. Of course, it's not in hockey, not in football. It's only a short time game, about 70, 90 minutes, and the hockey today was 70. Now it's reduced to 60. But still, at that time, you have to decide on the field. I tell you a match, I was captaining India on the Lord's ground. I don't know many players know it or not. But on the Lord's opening match, India versus England was played, and the Queen came, and on the Lord's, there were 2 fields made. And in 1967, hockey was played on Lord's ground. And in that ground, we were losing by 2 goals in the first half. And we started speaking. I started speaking purposely in English. I said, they are tired. Come on, get on top of them. Let's score them. So purposely to rattle the other team. It's not only it's most known in cricket, but also, the captain. Pardon?
It's called sledging.
Yes, sledging you can say. But they get irritated, and we equalized and we won. 3-2-1.
See, some untold stories, unheard stories are being brought out by a legend of Gurboxing. Now, may I come to Joydeep Da? Junior Wimbledon runners in 1960, he played against that time great players like Roy Emerson, Fred Stolle, John Newcomb, everybody he beat. But what do you think, Joydeep Da, that you being runners-up at the junior level, what X factor did not take you to the higher level?
First of all, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for inviting me here. It's great to be here. I'm here, my friend Chuni Goswami, who is my doubles partner in tennis. A lot of people don't know that he's a good tennis player too. And Gurbaks and Shambaran. A great book. I'm going to go through it. I must congratulate you. Coming back to your question of why we did not go up after that. I would say, I think I was seeded at Wimbledon. I reached the last 16 4 times, singles. We took the Indian team to the Davis Cup finals. We beat Newcomb and Rhodes. So by and large, I think like getting to the final of the Davis Cup is like getting the World Cup finals. Those days, the team they had in Australia was Newcomb, Rhodes, Emerson and Stolle. And we had Krishnan and me, Ranjit Lal, late Ranjit Lal and S. Misra. But where we differed in the captaincy was, they had a great captain called Harry Hopman. And we had, our captain was Mr. R.K. Khanna. Because those days, because of financial restrictions, foreign exchange, we had to go on loan. Because I remember we'd been played Davis Cup against Japan and other places, sometimes in a two-man team. My debut in Davis Cup was, I was in Pakistan, suddenly got a SOS message to go to Bangkok for the match. When I reached Bangkok, Krishnan had chicken pox and his partner was Naresh Kumar. And I arrived at 7 o'clock in the evening from Delhi, Calcutta. The next day I played 11 o'clock in the morning, live rubber, without any practice, and won in 5 sets. And that's the reason people say that I was a good Davis Cup player, a good fighter. But captaincy in tennis being a very individual sport like golf, non-playing captain is more important, especially in Davis Cup, who sits there, watches the matches, watches the style of players. When I was 6-7 years there, I was responsible for bringing Leander and Mahesh together. In fact, I encouraged Leander to play with Mahesh. And you see something from the outside, you can see what mistake they're doing, why they're not coming in the backhand court, or get your first serve in. That in tennis, it's so fast in tennis, goes over serve and volley, third serve, you don't have time to think. The captain is very important. The non-playing captain is very important there. As far as playing captain, we didn't have any playing captain those days, even now. But as you said, a captain is a born leader, has to be a natural captaincy, a flair for captaincy. I have a lot of guts, which you have to have taken, which is very important. You take a decision. I'll give you an example about, Shambaran will know also. I was very pretty close with Imran Khan when he was studying in Oxford all those days. So he got Sarfraz Nawaz to both start bowling in one place. Took him, Sarfraz was Mali's son in Lahore. He took him and he just took him in the team. And then we all know Sarfraz Nawaz, what a bowler he was. In fact, he wanted. So this is, captain has the eyesight and the guts to say, I want this guy in. Tiger Pataudi in hotel in Delhi, when cricketers get 250 rupees a day smoke money. Told me about Vishwanath. Vishwanath scored a 0 in first innings in Kanpur. He said, Vishwanath scored a 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. I'll still take him in. He's a great player. So you have to go with the thing. My case, a friendly thing, was when Ramesh Krishnan retired, we only had Leander Paes. I was the captain. Zeshan Ali was number 2 player. We had the team. We lost to the US very easily. Next match in Jaipur, we had all this, so we didn't have a second player. So I saw this fattish young boy who played well in the circuit. He was in the team with us practicing, and he was playing really well, really well. And I said, yeah, this guy is going to really make it. I have to push him through. And finally I took the decision which is right. At that time I was criticized by the press because I dropped Zishan Ali and took Mahesh Bhupati. And today you see, gentlemen, Mahesh Bhupati has won 12 or 13 Grand Slams. So that's the way he's still...
Big hand.
So, and then I also felt Zishan's cousin is sitting here, sir. Also, I told the press also that Zishan is from Calcutta, though he dropped him, but I'll be really happy if he proves me wrong and wins nationals or something. But unfortunately, he didn't play any tournaments after that.
Ronak, you have anything for Joydeep?
Yes. Sir, as you said, the non-playing captain is very important. Being the captain of the Davis team, what was your very difficult assignment that you faced?
Well, that was a tough call. Tough call because dropping someone who's supposed to be better and higher in ranking to get someone who's not earlier. And only a captain with little guts can do it. The rest will just follow the line. That was one, but I think we lost some very close matches. We lost to Czech Republic leading 2-1. But I think as a contribution as a captain, what I've done, I think I've brought the combination of Leander and Mahesh together. I mean, and it's unfortunate they didn't sort of, they had their own differences. I'm sure they kept on playing, they would have won about 15-20 Grand Slams.
Thank you, Joydeep. I'm coming to the last person and the youngest one among the captains, Shambaran Banerjee. I have got two questions. You can answer one by one or jointly. You owned the Ranji Trophy in 1989, and that is the last time Bengal has owned the Ranji Trophy. Even after that, Bengal had reached finals of Ranji Trophy with Saurabh in the team, scoring 90 plus runs, but couldn't ultimately win the trophy. What really worked during 1989 season that won you the Ranji Trophy?
No, good evening, gentlemen. Basic thing is the captaincy, is what I believe from my core of heart. There are two kinds of captaincy, off the field and on the field, right? So any ball game, team game rather. In cricket, captaincy role is most crucial. It's very easy to do captaincy when opponent 50 for 6. His opponent 300 for no loss or 1. That time you have to change the bowlers, in the fielders, others. That's very difficult. And captain has to be a very, very good leader of the game. So suppose opponent team batsman is playing the way he is playing, you have to judge immediately within 10 minutes what is to be done. And what I believe in mind, if you have a great player, you may not be a good coach. If you are a good coach, you may not be a good player. It doesn't mean that you are a great player, you are a good captain. I have seen your books there with Ray Lingworth and the Tiger Pataudi, Saurabh, and a lot of people is there. But what I believe in world cricket, captaincy has been changed by the two men, according to me, Ian Chappell and Ray Lingworth.
Both are there?
I've seen. Ian Chappell and Ray Lingworth.
Both have figured in my book.
I would like to ask you.
Yes, please.
Why he's not there?
Mike Bailey.
May I answer?
Mike Bailey, I was in England that time. Mike Bailey was a captain through the books.
Absolutely.
Through the books. Try to get my point.
Absolutely.
In tactical way, what is to be done? What Ajit said, what others say, the sledging. Sledging is a part of the game. Can't help it. With the all rule, you see the India playing Australia, there's something is going on. Now modern days, there is a lot of mics on the stumps, bowling and everywhere. But somehow that's a part of the game. And Mike Bailey, to me, I have seen his captaincy on the field, Nottinghamshire. He is a typical English. In 315, he will brought up pace bowler. Like this. So, first thing what Tunisia said. Who said that?
To supplement Shambaran, first of all, Mike really didn't come into the team automatically in the first 11, number one. Number two, by being English, English people by nature, they are, the wicket without any juice on it. They are softy. So, except one or two or three. Brian Close, Ray Lingworth, Ian Botham, maybe.
Ray Lingworth is different captain. I'm telling you, this is about Mike Bailey. Captain has to be a prolific performer. If not, we will not get any respect from the other players. Suppose captain is making 0 and 2 every matches, somebody will go back to the toilet and say something. अरे वो क्या कर रहे हैं, इतना बोलता है. This is fact. You see the Dhoni and Saurav, we have to be captains from the front. If you are a good performer, if you score runs, you can take wickets or outstanding catches or brilliant fielding, then you will get the automatic respect from the other players, and all together team spirit will go up. That's the basic thing. And one more thing, what I believe in captains, that is natural. Natural. Suppose you are a wicket keeper, we can't make a wicket keeper. We can't teach him, we can feed him. But that is a natural thing. That we have to be natural. So what I believe, captaincy is a terrific part of the game, particularly game of cricket. It's a terrific part of game. You have to read the game. And what you said about the Ranji Trophy, so senior and junior side, Saurabh played the last match, the finals. So that was his first match, first class matches. So we have done a lot of things. The opponent team was current 6-7 India players, or Tulu Vasan, a lot of people. So say we have to beat them on the field. Don't lose before the match starts. So it's a brave game. Bombay, the typical word is that kharus. So you have to be a kharus on the field. And day before the match, I took PK Banerjee to my dressing room. We didn't do practice. That is, Saurav was having his nails. Somebody was singing. This is out of pressure. Nothing else. So Pradipta take our good classes for the lot of big fighting, freedom and all these things. So we have been charged. It's clicked. But we never lose before the match starts. That is captain's duty. Let's go and sing.
This is the vision of a captain, to bring in someone not connected with cricket, but his leadership quality, his vocabulary inspired the whole team.
Yes. Yeah, pep talk is going on everywhere now.
Pep talk is going on everywhere.
Go to any corporate nowadays.
Samaran, this brings me...
I'm not technical things, but for Pradipta, we never asked any technical things. And Chunita, the one man in this state who played cricket and football together, first class. I heard about him, he's coming back from Roberts, from Mumbai. He changed his shoes. That was the football boot, he changed with the cricket boot. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
See,
he got a part too.
See, untold stories. Untold stories.
And I played for Montbon Avenue School, so Chunita was my captain. Then Chunita was captain for Bengal played Ranji Trophy finals.
Yes.
So, Chunita was natural sportsman, what I believe. He used to play tennis also. Very nice. So,
not better than Jati.
I must tell you, I went to a photograph of me, we had one of Mohan Bagan double. So I went to the bank those days to get cash at the bank. The teller said, I said, Joyita, Chunita ki apne ka harid hai?
Okay, Shambaran, this brings me the last question to you. That, well, after 1989, Bengal has not won Ranji Trophy. Do you think something is wrong somewhere in Bengal cricket? Why?
What I believe, I was chairman of selection committee for 12 years. What I believe, from Manoj Tiwari to Ashok Dindra, everybody I know on the nails. I know all under 16 players. I got a huge academy. I nurtured all the young boys. Basic thing, what I believe, a lack of talents, one, lack of talents, and big match temperament. Chal game mere debo. So Mukti je bola, otai better chena.
Friends from the media, please note this.
So Bengal will win. Naturally, one day they will win. But I still believe, particularly the son of the soil, these people. You see, no one, Riddiman and Mohammad Shami. Shami, I took him in the Bengal team when he was playing for the club matches. One match I have seen. Next morning was selection meeting. I took him straight away in the Bengal team. A lot of, hangama. First time, I know the game. What I believe. So one day it will. And one more thing is to me. Too much media pressure. Too much media pressure. Actor run korle, actor action korle. Suppose Kaushik goes, the poor fellow from Ashok Nagar, Habra, that boy got 100 in first match. So many things is coming. Bombay mein reckon dubara run korte sobai. No one knows. So we will stop. The media's role also to bring up the good players. What I believe. Otherwise, Bengal team will come up.
Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thanks very much.
Thank you all of you, all the leaders, all the audience, and I would request you. We conclude the program here, but please help yourself cup of tea and some food. Yeah. Thank you.
Don't take much. Don't say much.
এই আমি বেরোচ্ছি দাদা